Why are autistic people funny? Stick around to find out. Hi friends, my name is Claire and this is my channel, Woodshed Theory. Here, I make content about what it is like to live as an adult on the autism spectrum and whatever else feels good to me. So if that sounds good to you, or if you're feeling particularly gracious today, and I hope that you are, please go ahead and click the subscribe button, ring the bell. I almost forgot to mention that I put out videos 3 times a week. Click the like, click the like. Yes, my friends, I am in a different location today. I'm dog sitting for a friend, so here we are. Why are autistic people funny? This is a topic I've wanted to talk about for a while because over my life, my years, my existence, I have heard many times, "You're so funny. You've got jokes. You should do comedy." And I've heard this from a lot of other autistic people as well. It seems that neurotypical people find neurodiverse people humorous. What's funny to me is that many of the times that I've been found most funny, that people have been laughing the most, I'm not trying to be funny. In fact, I'm just trying to give an update on what's going on in the current situation. So I'm just trying to share facts. What I'm trying to say is, while the truth can be funny, while facts can be funny, it isn't my intention to make people laugh in those instances where it seems that people find me the most funny. So what is up with that? Why are autistic people considered funny? What makes neurotypical people laugh so hard at neurodiverse people? We're going to explore that today, but just as a reminder, I'm not necessarily an expert. I'm just a female who has autism, who is on the autism spectrum. So if you have thoughts on this that differ from mine, that's awesome. Please go ahead and put them down in the comments. Everyone would like to read them and we'll all learn together. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is that autistic people do seem to have a good sense of humor. Now, maybe that is not okay to say about yourself. I hadn't thought about that, but I would consider myself a person who has a good sense of humor. I enjoy laughing. I like to laugh. I'm not so easily offended as to never laugh. So yes, I think that autistic people have a good sense of humor, and that would lend to somebody being funny. The second thing I was thinking about is our tone. Most autistic people speak in what is best called a blunt affect. So we speak in a very flat tone. When you speak in a flat tone, almost anything you say can sound funnier than it actually is. We're not using the typical inflection on our words, and because of that, we sound funny to a neurotypical person. The other thing I can think of is we tend to have different speech patterns than neurotypical people, and we may turn phrases differently than neurotypical people. We may use vocabulary that is out of the norm for neurotypical people, and that might be funny. That might sound funny to somebody who is listening in. I find that if you can say something with a straight face, people tend to find it funnier than if you can't hold in your laughter or something similar. But still, the interesting thing is that we aren't trying to be funny, and that's why we're able to say it with a straight face. Am I making sense? I hope I'm making sense. We're not trying to be funny, we're just stating the facts, and it just comes across as funny because we're not using any particular intonation. People just tend to find that humorous, is what I found. Another thing to consider is that the autistic brain is naturally creative. We naturally come up with good ideas and different ideas than that of our neurotypical counterparts. We can also naturally relate topics and words together where somebody else may struggle with that. Either we're relating through topics and doing word association or maybe finding similar words through alliteration, which people tend to find humorous. The next thing I'm not sure how I feel about, but I thought it was worth mentioning, and that is perhaps we're found funny because of behavior that might be considered abnormal to neurotypical people. So outward stimming, or maybe something from a comorbidity that goes along with our autism. So maybe OCD behaviors or ADHD behaviors, or something like Tourette's syndrome that might go along with our autism. People may find that funny, which I'm not sure how I feel about, because that means that they're laughing at our expense, they're laughing at our difference. It's hard to say, because some behaviors are funny to watch, right? It's not neurotypical to be jumping around or flapping hands, and perhaps that might be funny to watch. But stimming and other behaviors are really important to autistic people. So why they are getting energy out and they're important, I don't think that means that you can laugh at them, or you should laugh at them. Thoughts, comments? I thought it was important to mention because I think it is a contributing factor as to why people think autistic people are humorous, are funny, easy to get a laugh from. That's part of it. But is it a good thing if they're laughing at something that is healthy for you and you can't necessarily control? That's unhealthy to suppress? Not sure. Another thing I was thinking about is that autistic people really struggle in social situations. It is a social disorder, a social disorder condition where you can't really read people the same as they're reading you. We don't have the same neuroconnections as neurotypical people, and therefore we usually get any social interaction wrong, which means we have trouble reading the room, and we will often make comments that we find funny at the incorrect time, or comments that we think are appropriate and other people think aren't appropriate but are funny at the incorrect time. We may not realize we're being rude. In fact, autistic people rarely are rude on purpose, but we're saying something at the incorrect time, the wrong thing. People might find that funny because it is different from normal neurotypical behavior. So people may find that funny. We're always going to cross the line even when we don't mean it, and people laugh at that. Another thing I was thinking about is that because we are hungry for relationship, we may lean into if people think that we're funny. So if they start laughing at us, we may build on our behavior so that they'll laugh more because we think that that's what people want. So maybe that's why we lean into being funnier, for acceptance. It's hard to say. Have you had this experience? Have you had people tell you that you're funny, or that you're a funny person, or that you have jokes and you didn't understand what they were talking about? You just assumed that maybe you're naturally funny, but it actually comes from being different. I know it's a strange topic, and I know everyone always says it's okay to talk about strange topics, but I did want to bring it up because it is something that I have noticed that is said a lot, that autistic people are funny. I also tend to see that many comedians are neurodiverse people. So is there a correlation there? I'm not sure, but I'd love for us to talk about it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your experiences, share them with me and with others, and we'll all grow from it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you next time. Bye, guys.